Thanks for joining us live. For NBA basketball. On 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Looking back at the last matchup between these two teams, it was the Clippers who were unable to get it done against Chicago.
How about the shooting percentage, though? In the low 30s. That tells you all you need to know.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. To shoot that poorly, you almost have to try to miss. Shoot that poorly. Rarely do you see numbers like that at the NBA level.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Luke Mbamute out there with Pierce. Then it's Lance Stevenson. Then it's Chris Paul. And it's Jordan in at the 5 spot. Now, here's Mbamute. The drive by Paul. That's good. Paul's got his team on the board to start the game for the Clippers.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
And Rose, wide open, he shoots. And not sure what he was thinking there. And into this, having notched to win a game.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
And Doc Rivers passed the 700 win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
And they double up Paul. Passes it to Stevenson. Lets it go. Gasol with the rebound.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Now here's Gibson. 9 points last game. And Jordan sends it back. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Feeds it to Stevenson. Uncovered. Stevenson missing again.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Gasol kicks to Snell. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Sinks the three-pointer. Butler's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Ball against Rose. Paul outside. Fires for 3. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range. Trading blows from behind the arc.
Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
Hey, kid, you ready? All right, let's go.
Bulls trail by 6. There's Rose with the 3. Rose with another miss.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Paul kicks to Jordan. Paul against Rose. Paul passes to Mbamute. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. McDermott's checked in for Tony Snell. And Moore subbed in for Jimmy Butler. Rivers dishes to Redick. Outside, Pierce. 4 on the shot clock. Rivers kicks to Redick. Beyond the arc. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injury. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
What great touch there on the fadeaway. Man, right in his face.
The pass to Dawson. For 3. Cannot hit. And it's Chicago the other way.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Boston Celtics.
And with the number of turnovers they had in that game, guys, it was going to be an uphill battle all the way.
Especially when you couple the turnovers with the soft defense they were playing. That's a losing combination.
Here's Dawson. And the Clippers miss again. Bulls trail by 7. Moore outside. Stolen by Rivers. Three-pointer. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And a word from Chris Paul, who has a little something to say about the success of a very special.
You know, Blake, everything that's happened.
Of course, we know that Blake would say the exact same thing about Chris Paul. You know, Chris and Blake Griffin share so much in common when it comes to being the hardcore Clippers their owner brags about all the time.
And you think about it, Chris Paul is not easily impressed, nor is Doc Rivers, for that matter, but both of these guys have praised Griffin for how hard he's worked and how far he's come in his career.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. You guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
It's all about their defense. They have just done a terrific job of negating the timing and spacing of their opponent.
Every shot is challenged and challenged well.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Rivers out there with J.J. Redick. Then it's Pierce. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Dawson in at the 4. Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in from downtown. And Rivers with the basket on the assist from Stevenson. Rivers has got 5 points now this quarter. Brooks, the pass to Mirotic. Three-pointer, Butler. Rebound by the Clippers. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. That'll be game 4 of this 6-game road trip. Stevenson against Butler. Nobody near Stevenson. Again, the Clippers.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong.
Brooks gets to Gasol. Dishes it to Mirotic. 6 on the shot clock from past the arc. And it's Paul Pierce with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 9. Well, what a season it was for Mirotic last year. Came on stronger for the Chicago Bulls. Continued to improve. Effective in the playoffs. Really a joy to watch in his first year.
And interesting, so much hype going into the season was about Dougie McDermott.
Yes.
Whether or not he was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. It ended up being Mirotic. Most years, he could have walked away with that award.
And the Bulls making a change here. Snell's checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Chris Paul, he's checked in for Rivers. Stolen by Stevenson. Pierce dishes to Stevenson, and stolen by Butler. They can't stop the run with that one.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
In the corner, it's Stevenson. Jordan the pass to Paul. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From 17 feet out, Gasol with the rebound.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss. You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh yeah shots.
Pass to Pierce. There's the 3. Can't get it to go. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And Stevenson kicks to Paul. That falls. Nice feed that time from Stevenson.
Hey,
Stevenson's got 3 assists in the game. Brooks up on top, defended by Paul. Butler from outside. That's good. Butler's got 8.
boy, they're knocking down the long-range shots. A lot of those same shots they missed earlier in the first quarter. They still find themselves down here, but they're starting to make some headway into that deficit.
The dish to Gibson. Baamute with the steal. And here we go. Stevenson heading to the hoop. Good. Pierce has got his first bucket of the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Paul just giving them fits. 10 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Doug McDermott comes in for Tony Snell. Morris checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Brooks. Paul left side. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Paul's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
It's Pierce on the wing. This one for 3. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Pierce has got 5 now.
And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
And, Greg, their field goal percentage reflects that. I mean, they've been the much better team shooting the ball. And you know me, shooting percentage, always a function of shot selection.
Mirotic is checked in for Taj Gibson. 55 seconds left in the second quarter. Ball against Rose. Mirotic the screen. Rose with the ball. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against the Celtics in Boston.
And also, he competed on the backboard. That also had a lot to do with the game.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc. And mistakes, guys, this quarter have translated to 9 points at the other end.
Sloppy play really costing them, Greg. Much of their problems have been self-induced.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Dawson comes in for Baamute. J.J. Redick's checked in for Lance Stevenson. And it's Austin Rivers in for Chris Paul. Outside Rose to stop the run. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. So a pretty lopsided game for the first half. Clippers lead by 21. From the
2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. Chris Paul has been the story in this one. He ended up with 17 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Coming in off a tough game last time out for him, he's clearly turned the page, and it's bouncing back tonight in a big way. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about